Chris Pyatt takes on Sumbu Kalambay in the big fight live.
Chris Pyatt is the hometown boy at the Granby Halls in Leicester, but he's got to overcome an excellent opponent in Sumbu Kalambay before he can call himself world champion. Leicester's footballers have a real scrap on their hands as well, trying to knock Portsmouth out of the playoffs. Swindon lead on points going to Tranmere, we've the pick of all the playoffs after the big fight. Hello, a very good evening to you all. Chris Pyatt has seen boxers like Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn claim the glory and all the rewards from being world middleweight champion. Tonight, Chris gets a long overdue chance to hop on that bandwagon, but he's going to have to produce the performance of a lifetime. Pyatt has put his time in. He fully deserves this crack at the world middleweight title. He produced the best punch I've seen all year to demolish Colin Manners in February. Kalambay, though, will be much harder to catch. The Italian-based African, officially 35, but this isn't a faded old figure. He's mixed with the best, McCallum, Barclay and Michael Nunn. Kalambay has only lost 5 times in 13 years as a pro. Well, 2.5 years ago, Pyatt had an unsuccessful tilt at the world light middleweight title, also in Leicester. They're willing him on to succeed this time round at the Granby Halls. Your big fight commentators, Jim Watt and Reg Guttridge. First of all, though, we're going to join the MC, and that's Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the big fight live on ITV? Coming from Leicester's Granby Halls, promoted by Barry Hearn on behalf of Matchroom Boxing and sponsored by the Daily Mirror newspaper. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present the main attraction of the evening, a middleweight contest at 11 stone 6 pounds, over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the vacant WBO Middleweight Championship of the world. Your judges for the contest, all from Puerto Rico, are Nelson Vasquez, Thomas Vasquez Riviera, Cesar Ramos. Your WBO supervisor, John Morris of the British Boxing Board of Control. Your British Boxing Board steward in charge is Charles Giles. Your matchmaker, Frank Turner of London. And your timekeeper, Harry Foxall of Stoke-on-Trent. And when the bell rings and the action begins, your referee is Ismael Fernandez of Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the red corner with the green and the gold shorts, with 57 wins and 1 draw from 63 contests, 33 KOs, and weighing in at 11 stone 6 pounds from Italy, the former undefeated WBA world champion and the former European middleweight champion, Sumbu Kalambay. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the yellow shorts, with 39 wins from 42 contests, 30 inside the distance, and weighing in at 11 stone 4.5 pounds from Leicester, the former European light middleweight champion and the reigning WBC international middleweight champion, Chris Tyson Pyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO middleweight championship of the world.
Well, I'll tell you, it's tremendous coming into the ring here. You can hardly hear yourself speak to your neighbour, actually. It's incredible. So, what's billed as the last chance here for Chris Pyatt. And I must say, it's a battle of ring generals here. There's no question about that. These boys really know their game. Pyatt has had 220 rounds, Kalambay 415 pro rounds. Kalambay came in the ring wearing the colours of Zaire, but now is a naturalised Italian. But really knows the business. Couple of verdicts over our own Harold Brown. Very dubious on a couple of occasions apparently, but there you go. It shows you what a good boxer he must be. First won the World Championship back in '87 against Iran Barkley, and they were 15 rounders in those days in Italy. Made 3 defences, and the only time he's been knocked over is by Michael Nunn in 1 round. Now, can Pyatt bring off the punches? He's moved up from light middleweight, but 11 stone 4.5, which really is not the full middleweight strength perhaps, but he says he wants to get back to boxing rather than look for the one punch all the time, which spoiled his chance in this ring against John David Dexon at a lower weight last time. He just couldn't cope with him because he was trying to knock him out with every punch. Veteran of 37, although he's now claiming he's a bit younger at Kalambay, but it's a bit late to change his age. Pyatt's been so much the nearly man. He's won the British Championships, Commonwealth, European, vacated them all, but been very hot since he joined Barry Hearn's camp recently. 30 stoppages and 39 wins will show what he can do, but now can he do it just at the higher weight now against one of the slipperiest and cleverest performers in the business? Can handle the rough stuff too, Kalambay. Last year he beat Steve Collins of Dublin as a real rough handful in a 12-rounder for the European Championship, and that's now vacated. Jim Pyatt's got to make this fellow work all the time now, hasn't he?
Yeah, Pyatt's got to control the action as much as he possibly can. When you're in with an opponent with the experience of Kalambay, we're in with so many top-class fighters that you can't allow him to set out the plan and set the pace. But the problem is, any time Pyatt makes a mistake, this fellow's going to punish him for it. So he has to set the pace, but do it rather carefully. Not an easy match for anybody, Sumbu Kalambay. Well, he outsmarted one of the best ring generals around him, Mike McCullum. That gives you an idea of his ability. These are good punches coming from Pyatt, but they're not landing. That one did.
Well, if that's his game plan, to keep busy, sometimes he tends to pose a bit and look for the one shot, but he can't do that this time. He's got to busy himself a bit with this big fellow.
Already Kalambay's jab looking not too bad, Reg. Accurate the few times he's used it here. See, that's it. As soon as you make a mistake, this fellow will punish you.
Well, you warned him, Jim. There you go, he got it, Pyatt. Took the shot well, though. That was quite a punch.
It's a good positive start from Pyatt.
Yeah, good opening round that. Good to see that in a championship fight. Often they don't exactly laugh about, do they? But sometimes they size each other a bit too much. Bit of caution, but these two, they obviously know, both of them know the business, and let's get on with it. So vacant championship, and well, this fellow will be, I mean, it'll be quite a performance for him. He doesn't stop winning championships one way or another. His last fight, he had an easy win in Rome against an American he wouldn't have heard of anyway in April. Just a one-rounder to keep his punches in good form, I would have thought. Timing and all that sort of thing. 37, but, well, his boxing doesn't look like it so far anyway. He doesn't run out of gas. He's proven that. He's a long-distance fighter.
10 seconds.
Taking the championship away from Gerald McClellan, who beat Julian Jackson on the Lennox Lewis Tucker bill in Las Vegas recently to become another version of the championship. Second round. Although Pyatt's been caught by punching him, it's a good start by him, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a good positive start from Pyatt. He's setting the pace, he's showing the feint, he's trying to draw some mistakes. Pyatt has to get on top as early as he possibly can. He's doing it the right way, he's doing it from a tight defence. He can't afford to be reckless. This fella can pick the shot, especially with the counter punches.
The cornerman should be able to read this well, because Jimmy Tibbs has seen quite a bit of Kalambay and has the highest respect for him. So I imagine the right words have gone into Pyatt's ear. He's a 10-year pro now, Chris Pyatt, had a great amateur record. ABA, Commonwealth Games. I think the reach of Kalambay is a bit deceptive to him. When he unleashes a punch, you think it may not get there, and it does, doesn't it?
The left hand from Kalambay is a little bit of a problem, both the jab and the hook. Pyatt is so intent and trying to gain control. Now and again he's a little bit reckless, but you can't really advise him to do anything else. If Pyatt stands off this fella, he'll pick up his pieces. He has to go to him and keep doing as he's doing, and just hope the youth and the strength is the telling factor. Also a problem too that Kalambay has always been a middleweight. He's a big middleweight. Pyatt has just come up to the weight, so there could be quite a difference in their actual weight just at this moment.
Came in right on the poundage, Kalambay, 11 stone 6, 72 kilos.
See, it's possible with a liquid back in his body, he's closer to 12 stone now, Reg. Pyatt won't put an awful lot on from his 11 stone 4.5 weigh-in. These are good, powerful shots from Pyatt, but they're not getting through. You know, over 12 rounds, you can't really afford to waste too many punches.
Referee's quite nippy. We saw him in with some straw weights in Glasgow when Paul Weir won the championship.
Pyatt is trying to roll right over the top of him, Reg. This is a real good attack in the second round from Pyatt.
Coming up to the end of the second round, scheduled for 12, the championships, 3-minute durations. Well, I think the corner probably called the fight right there, Jim, haven't they? With Pyatt telling him what to do and chasing all the time.
Yeah, he's got to set the pace. He's got to keep doing as he's doing. The only problem I have to remember, Reg, is 12 rounds. You can't really put too much into punches that have been blocked or missing. He has to take charge as he's doing, but he's putting full power into every shot, and if the punches are not going home cleanly, then 12 rounds is a long time. But he has to force the pace, and that's exactly what he's doing.
We have the unofficial scoring of retired referee Harry Gibbs again, who's given the first 2 rounds to Pyatt by 1 point.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Usually only give the 1, 2 if there's a knockdown, and if it gets beyond that, well, usually the referee stops you anyway.
Seconds out, round 3.
Third round, WBO vacant middleweight championship. Former world champion here in Kalambay, who hasn't been beaten by a non-world champion for 13 years. Now that's a pretty good record. 6 world championship fights and 8 for European. He and Dick Tiger, I think, are probably the best middleweights ever to come out of Africa. Kalambay's agent, Pepe Ford, was saying how tremendous hard this man trains, which is why he's lasting at his age like this. fighting a different kind of fight part than he did against John David Jackson in this ring, Jim, when he was a bit disappointing. He's finding this fellow more to his liking, despite the stronger look about him.
Yeah, well, Jackson was very awkward, a southpaw boxer, a real problem, but this fella certainly suits him better. And I think Pyatt, he's been world class for so long, and he's been boxing, marking time fights. I think he really needed a big one. And you can see the appetite he's shown already in this one. He's just been waiting for this one. He's just finding it difficult to pin this fellow with clean shots. He's thrown a lot of good punches, but he's tending to miss a little bit. As Kalambay, with experience, he's slipping and blocking and sliding through the punches.
Oh, beautiful counters there by Pyatt. It looked like Kalambay was going to get through there. Stood his ground and flat-footed, got full weight into his punches there, Pyatt. Good start.
Pyatt's looking really sharp, Reg. I mean, he couldn't have hoped for a better start. The only thing I would worry about is if Kalambay weathers the early rounds. Pyatt can't afford to go tired against this fellow. This fellow can go on forever.
Crowd died on, I know that Kalambay does. He must not punch himself out though, Pyatt, but he's got an old head on those 29-year-old shoulders anyway.
Don't mind throwing the shots hard, Reggie, they're getting through, and they're starting to get through here now.
Well, that's 3-0 definitely there to Pyatt. What a good start for him. I've seen this man quite a few times. I can't remember him being, apart from the one rounder with Michael Nunn, and that amounted to a few punches, where he's taken so many punches so early on, Jim.
Yeah, well, that was the first time that Pyatt really opened up Kalambay's defence. He's got through with 3 or 4 real good clean shots consecutively. Kalambay been very smart, very clever, just sliding past the punches, blocking them. But that time, Pyatt really got control, really got on top. And Pyatt really looking